Howdy, howdy, howdy from San Antonio, Joe. Well, it is almost 10 p.m. and I'm leaving the hospital once again. Now, in reference to WhatsApp, I got your message with the room number and everything else, and I had this wild and crazy idea, like, oh my God, wouldn't that be cool to send, like, I don't know, like flowers or something? And then I thought to myself, okay, Joe, it's probably on a military base, it's probably at a hospital, and just because you know the room number don't mean anything. So, but the point I'm trying to make is that I did have that thought, which is that would be so cool to send some flowers or a silly bouquet of balloons, but I'm sure the familia has you loaded up with balloons, cards, and everything else. So, but I have a feeling, and you can confirm this if I'm wrong, that a lot of the San Antonio Joe stuff in the care packages may have ended up on the little nightstand. I don't know if you took any of those little frames. You had mentioned you might take some, but I know the bags, those beauty bags, those, are they called vanity bags? Anyway, just the fact that I saw that picture with all of them, I thought, God is good. God, I don't exactly shop for vanity bags, but they appeared, okay? And the fact that they appeared out of nowhere means they were meant for you, because that's the way us Cancerians, that's how we play, that's how we operate. So I'm happy to have contributed to the pre-op process in my own little way, and post-op, because you're going to use those bags for your stuff. Well, I tell you, I'm sure you're going to have all kinds of stories about your recovery and the challenging, painful things you're probably enduring right now as we speak this Thursday night. So God bless you, sunshine, and I'm hoping that the people, the therapists you work with are patient, kind, cooperative, and everything else. I'm going to put my ticket in the thing right here. And cost me $2 for parking. So I have to tell you the story before I give you an update about my father. I'm going to HEB to buy some spinach and some broccoli. You know what I've been eating, sunshine, is I've been eating tangerines, because I visited with my Aetna nurse for a basic checkup, right? And they said, and I said, well, I'm staying away from fruit because I'm trying to lower my blood sugar and I don't want to, go down that road. She said, are you serious? Are you kidding? Eating fruit is actually good for you because the fiber offsets that sugar intake that you are putting into your body. So she said, tangerine is actually okay. It's good for you. So I've been eating tangerines every day, one a day, and I could sense pretty fast that it does help your digestive system, like a roto-rooter. Okay, so that's my little update. Oh, another update I wanted to tell you. So I have a family member. I'm not going to tell you who it is right now, but I'm going to tell you when we chat eventually, and it'll be my quiz, all right? That's going to be my little quiz for you. Who is this person I'm talking about? So, the person is a client, so we'll just keep it at that, but I'm also related to this person. So this person is in the process of selling a building, an apartment complex that this relative built, and to make a long story short, the sale closes tomorrow, and a family member asked this family member who's selling the complex, so how much are you going to net? And he said, like 2.6. And I thought to myself, here I am worrying about paying my insurance renewal. Here I am worrying about paying the light bill, an Amex charge, and here's the person netting net profit $2.6 million. And I was thinking about, so last night I was reading a book about the dichos de Mexico, which are sayings of Mexico. And my paternal grandmother was very big on sayings. So she would always, and it's funny because I find myself telling my daughters sayings also in English, not in Spanish. And one of my favorite ones is, don't defecate, or the S word, where you eat. Don't S where you eat. That's something I've always told my daughters. And I got to tell you the story. So, and this goes to show you that kids listen, right? You don't think they're listening, but they listen. So she tells me in this conversation we're having in the car, the other day I thought about something you told me, don't defecate where you eat. And I was in class, and this kid was giving his teacher a hard time. I don't know if it was in college or high school, maybe high school. And he was just being a big poopy head, right? And she said, I remembered what you said. You said, don't defecate where you eat. And here, this young cat is essentially defecating on the person that's going to give him a grade. And he was like, I'm so perplexed. Like, why would you do that? Why would you give this teacher a hard time in an unnecessary way just because you're trying to protect your ego or boost your ego, whatever, right? So she remembered what I said, don't defecate where you eat. And she lives in my house, and I think it's good for kids to know, hey, if you've been blessed, you better not be pulling out silly games with the person who's helping subsidize your accommodations every night. So anyway, in reference to my father, I just left the hospital, and my mom said something so intriguing. She said something like, well, if we can keep around for 2 more years, he can watch my niece graduate, and he can also see this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, 2 years? I'm thinking 2 hours. When I was there, his blood pressure shot up to like 185. He was running a temperature of 102. He has he still has this infection that is fighting, and his cancer doctor, and that's another issue, right? The diabetes wasn't bad enough, cancer, right? The diabetes doctor said, well, right now, to know what kind of medicine I have to prescribe, I would have to do a bone marrow extraction, a biopsy, but he's too old. He's too delicate right now to do that, so we'll have to get him out. I'm thinking, my God, if it wasn't bad enough that he had blood in the brain, diabetes, being treated by insulin, high blood pressure because of the shock, and I'm thinking, 2 years? If we get 2 more days, it's going to be a blessing. He's alive because of these machines, all this medication, and he has 24/7 care. And I guess that opened my eyes to the fact that I've never lived with this person for 55 years. So that sense of loss, that sense of disbelief is very real for her, if that makes any sense. And I just left thinking, my God. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you I was able to do. So yesterday, a cousin of mine, the oldest cousin on the Solis side, he went to go visit his uncle, my father, for an hour. They had a great visit. Today, on WhatsApp and then on Facebook Messenger, I was able to have two of my cousins who are in their 60s communicate with my father. I got him on the phone at the last minute. I said, hey, I'm going to be at the hospital in 10 minutes. He would be so happy to hear your voice. And sure enough, the first cousin, Cindy, apparently my parents had helped Cindy, who's now 62, and her husband, when they were newlyweds, I think they lived with my parents for a year or something. And so they had a very close connection, and so they were able to FaceTime. And then another cousin of mine, Rachel, was able to communicate with my father. she wasn't able to see my father. But what I did for her later is I created a video and I said, hey Dad, I just wanted to thank Rachel in this video for calling, and can you open your eyes? And sure enough, he opened his eyes, so Rachel was able to see. And there's not much I can do for my father, Sunshine, but my feeling is by allowing him to hear the voices of his nieces and nephews, you know, if it can lift his spirits, why not? Didn't cost me a dime, took a few minutes to get everything set up, and I'm thinking these are the parting gifts that I can give him in my own way. So today my brother's daughter found out she was accepted to UT Health for occupational therapy, so that was a piece of good news she was able to share with my father. But I left today thinking, my mom's over there sleeping, I'm heading back to the house. I was thinking that when you are in a situation like this, in terms of all of your organs basically falling apart as a result of all these issues, diabetes, cancer, blood cancer, just everything, oh my Lord, how can your kidneys survive? Now they're talking about dialysis. I mean, the man is barely moving his mouth. How on earth could he survive dialysis? And I don't mean to be negative, but I go back to the fact that I want him to transition out in the most graceful way. And dialysis is just brutal. I mean, it's brutal for anyone who's healthy, who's vibrant, and who's not 82 years old. So I may sound like a broken record, but I'm just keeping this to myself. I'm not sharing this because I think if I were to share it with family, they would say, oh, you're being negative and you're not being positive, and why are you being a downer? And that's not the point. The point is not to be a downer. The point is just to, I would say, be a realist about the situation. Oh, wonderful. My kid, I'm gonna do something for you, Sunshine. So my kid put up the Christmas tree. So this is, I don't think you've seen this. Okay, so this is the house that I own where my youngest daughter lives here, and I bought him a Christmas tree, and they finally put it up. And this is her boyfriend's car, and they put that Christmas tree up. Oh my God, it looks really good. And this is a little lamp that I put there so people can know. And look at this, of course. Oh, there's no trash in there. Okay, I was gonna take out her trash. So it's a really nice neighborhood, and this is a mid-century house, probably built, mid-century modern house. It was built in the 60s, 65. And this is the house that has all these improvements. It's a corner house. My mom bought this 22 years ago. And that's my neighbor. And here's another house. So, I literally came back and took the long way because I wanted to see how the Christmas tree looks at night. It looks really good. I'm happy they put it up. I found the tree at Goodwill. It's from Target. Paid $49 for it, and it's one of these trees that has the lights installed. So I thought this is a good thing to have it installed. Oh, the neighbors here did some pretty good work. They've done a good job with this stuff. Okay. Well, that's really my update for the story. And one of my clients from Mexico, the one that owes me $9,000, I sent them the bank information. I was hoping they were going to send it to my Bank of America account, but she said, no, I can't do that. I have to send it through IBC Bank, which accepts international transfers, but it's under $10,000 and it doesn't get reported to the IRS. because the last thing I need is having to fill out, tax stuff and compliance stuff. And if it's under 10,000, I'll be good. And it's not like I'm doing this once a year, and I only have that IBC account for that specific client. So that's the story there. And the good Lord blessed me with that financial transfer. And then I have the other one that I mentioned to you. And you know what sucks is that this family member, I'm insuring this building, the one that I told you about a few moments ago. So, and I think we're like halfway through the term of this policy, and I'm going to end up losing like $500 in return commission because it was like a $9,000 or $10,000 sale. So I'm going to end up, it's crazy. You're thinking, oh my God, I'm so happy that you're going to make, all this money, but I'm going to end up getting spanked in December by having to return money as a result of what do you call it? Of this sale. Isn't that weird? What a weird, how life is so strange, right? You end up getting slammed financially during the holidays because somebody made a great sale where they made all this money, and you got to return the money. I should be grateful. I should just be grateful in the first place. Now, for me, I can't insure that building for the next 5 to 10 years because you can make good money off a nice transaction like that. But hey, be grateful for what you have and move forward. That's all you can do. All right, sunshine, this one has gone on a little longer than I was expecting, but I pray to God your Friday session with the physical therapist goes great. Hope the new location is wonderful. They're taking care of you, and hope the family is healthy and happy this December. And I can't even imagine what it's like for you to run around buying gifts and presents for not just kids, but grandkids also. Good Lord, that must be like a full-time job that you have. Well, I've enjoyed making these videos for you, and I hope when you do see these eventually, it's going to be almost like a series, right? Like a show where you can see different episodes, and what's really strange is you're living your life, you're doing your stuff, and here I'm recording real life experiences, memories that you'll see later. So it's almost going to be impossible to say, okay, let me make notes on this, let me do this, because there's so much information that who knows. We'll just and by the way, don't think you have to reply to every single message, every single story. You don't have to do that at all. I'm happy I can share this with you, and I feel like, or the way I look at this is that you're going to be recovering at home during the holidays, and there's probably going to be lots of time where you're going to be sitting down either watching football or, I'm sure after a few days you're going to be done with people around you, because us cancers, we need to go back into our little shell, recharge, and we recharge by being away from people, right? Of course, right? So the way I see these videos is a way to sit next to you and chat away and let me go on my little mouth marathon, sharing stories with you, and you can be entertained by these stories. I hope they're not boring. That would really suck. You're like, this is boring, let me turn it off. And so I'm off to HEB. Do you know I've lost like 4 to 5 pounds as a result of the past 10 days. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not saying, because of someone's health situation, I've been losing weight. I haven't been carrying the heavy load on this one. It's been my mom. She's the one been carrying the heavy load, and my brother too. I feel like I'm the bass player in the background, keeping rhythm, keeping tempo, providing some vocal support, because others are doing the really, really hard work. So I'm naive to think, I have it hard, I've got it easy. really easy. I'm heartbroken for everything my father's going through, but this too shall pass. I just wish him just the recovery that allows him to just transition out. I don't want him to be living a miserable existence on dialysis and having all of these chemicals being put into his body that's just breaking down his kidneys. I mean, in the end, if your kidneys are gone, I'm sorry, that's not living. It's not living. And you know, being able to be around for someone's graduation, no. That family member has to have a quality of life that's respectable, that's graceful, and that's without pain. So I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but you know where I'm going with this. And 2 years of this? Are you kidding? No way. Absolutely not. So I'm always talking in the car, right? So here I'm at HEB. So look at my fit today, huh? Actually, I put this on my little, I don't know what it is, but I think that Yellowstone show is making people look at people like me wearing vests, because this vest I've had for at least 3 years, and I've been wearing vests, but I always bring them out during the holidays or when it gets cold, which is never here in San Antonio. So I got to show you my whole fit. Okay, leather jacket. Yeah. Woo! Huh? Got a little Montana boy there. Look at that, huh? Looking all leathered up. Oh Lord, you gotta tell me what you think about this with the sunshine beard, huh? Look at this, I look like an adult. Thanks again for recommending. Hey, have you ever thought about growing out your beard? All right, sunshine. So here I'm at HEB. You got rest up. God bless you. Big love from your San Antonio Joe.